When grifting goes too far and you look up and you're behind bars, DL Whisperer has been arrested as of Saturday, last Saturday at the time of this recording.
He claims he can sense if your man is on the down low.
We need to start protecting women, especially Black women.
The DL Whisperer, thousands of people, mostly women, flocking to him for advice. But at whose expense?
Bashing random people for no reason you don't know them.
DL alert! DL alert!
It's become a dangerous game.
Come play on me like that, gang. I'll smack the out you, yeah?
Yeah, nah, that's lame. That's not cool.
That's backfiring. The threats and doxing.
Look where I'm at, ho!
Celebrities even filing protective orders.
I'm just talking about it a week later, but this is an issue that has been really hitting the socials, primarily the Black social media influencers and celebrities such as TS Madison, Dominique Morgan, Daily Doses of D, and more. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. Before we get started today, I want you to drop down below, like, comment, and share, and most importantly, subscribe. Of course, you can comment and share at the end of the video. Just let me know that you watched it. If you don't know a lot about me, my name is Khalif, aka Deep in the Streets, also go by K. I'm super excited to be here. Let's check in. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Okay, you checking with yourself? All right. Me, I have been super busy this week. I've been really trying to focus on getting sleep. I'm not the best at getting sleep. Some days I get more hours than others, but recently I've just really had to pace myself, because I work a lot. I work hard. I am an actual journalist. I don't want to shade anyone and say real journalist, but I do have a degree. I went to USC, not to brag, but I'm gonna brag because I went through a lot in that program. It was hard, okay? And so I do actually write and I do print media. So if you're new to me, just want you to know that whenever I report on stuff and also give my commentary, which is my opinion, it's not me pulling things out of my and I'm gonna bleep that out or not say the full cuss word for YouTube purposes, but my content is me just having conversation and also reporting. Here at the Stark Effect, I report on entertainment news, trending topics, and hard news as well. Some topics I may miss because it is a constant news cycle. So whenever I try my best to pick things, I try to pick things that move me and also things that are moving other people. And sometimes I'll miss the ball, right? For example, the Super Bowl, the performance by Bad Bunny. I'm still mad at myself because I have not done a video on it. And I've only seen glimpses and pieces of it. Haven't actually sat and watched it, so I feel like I missed the mark on that. But hey, it is what it is. We're not always going to get everything, honey, because people got lives to live. Anyways, if you're new to me, I would appreciate if you drop down below, like, comment, and share. Let's go ahead and let's get started on DL Whisperer. So for today's report, I'm going to run through two articles just to give you the backdrop as to what happened and give you a little bit of a timeline. This is concerning a social media influencer by the name of DL Whisperer and a social media influencer, actress, celebrity, songwriter, that girl, TS Madison. Two of them have had a back and forth that has taken place over it's been happening since June of last year, actually, more so on DL Whispers and not TS Madison's. And so today with this podcast episode, I just want to walk through everything because there have been countless social media videos, there have been countless TikToks of DL Whispers supporters going back and forth with TS Madison or attacking her and her not always responding, but people around her who know her defending her, and her fans defending her. Then it turned into him going after Dominique Morgan, who was another influencer, trans activist who was very well known as well. Him and her have been going back and forth, and then he started making it's a lot. All right, but we're going to focus on Madison today. And then I'll probably give you tidbits of Dominique Morgan. But this story, frankly, is exhausting, right? But, as a fellow Black trans woman myself, I couldn't help but get into it. And let me preface this and say this. I'm going to move so y'all can see the light because I love that light in the background. Touching this topic, I was kind of hesitant to touch it because it's very messy. And my content, I'm aware that mess gets clicks and views, right? But with this particular topic, I really want to highlight how harmful this is. And I'm not the first person to say this. A lot of the things that I'm going to say in this video, I'm not the first to say it, but you're hearing it from Khalif, right? But it's really really harmful. And what he's doing is he's using he's grifting and pandering to black women, black homophobic and transphobic black women, right? He knows that that is an audience that will be highly receptive. By me saying that, am I saying that all black women are homophobic and transphobic? No. But there is a demographic of black women who has this thing with DL men. And they have a fear of it. And I can understand that fear. I understand that fear. But I feel like there's like two types, right? You have the ones who are just completely afraid and they're running around thinking that every single black man that they meet who identifies as straight is secretly down low or gay, and they always have this thing of like, oh my God, is he gay? Is he gay? Is he gay? That is like a fear that DL Whisperer is playing into. And then you have other black women who are allies to the community, who are not homophobic and transphobic and don't think that every man they come across is down low, but they're aware that down low men exist and they don't want to date a down low man, right? You know, so there's two different types in that regard. And then you have the ones who say that they're allies and they're not. You know, but they'll be cool. They'll be cool with a gay guy or a trans woman and they want us to, you know, hang out with them and kiki and do their hair and go shopping and have girl talk, right? But at the end of the day, they're still having certain biases towards gay men and trans women and thinking that gay men and trans women, specifically trans women, are enablers. So with all that being said, I'm going to get into an article from Gay Magazine. Now, this was the first article that really brought more light to this particular story because T.S. Madison, to my knowledge, exclusively gave an exclusive to Gay Magazine, you know, as she does have a good relationship with that particular outlet. Gay Magazine is an outlet slash blog that reports predominantly on Black LGBTQ topics, Black LGBTQ news on the social media scenes predominantly, right? So, you know, but over time they've grown. So this is one of their exclusive interviews here. And I will insert that somewhere here, probably next to me, so we can get through this together. So let's go through it here. Gilmore County judge grants T.S. Madison a temporary protective order against Naquan Palmer. This was written by Saint Trey W. So this is an exclusive under gay news at gaymagazine.com. That's GAYE magazine.com. So T.S. Madison on February 5th filed a temporary protective order against online commentator Naquan Palmer, also known as DL Whisperer. That's Naquan or Naquan Palmer. Renowned television and trans media personality T.S. Madison did file a temporary protective order. I'm reading the article. His legal name, DL Whisperer, once again, is Naquan Palmer. And this is following a public dispute that escalated from an online commentary into documented safety concerns. Court records reviewed by Gay Magazine show that Madison filed the Temporary Protective Order, or TPO, after weeks of escalating online conflict, culminating in an incident in which Palmer appeared at her residence. Madison confirmed the filing exclusively to Gay Magazine. The dispute began after Palmer posted commentary reacting to Madison's interview with Nene Leakes. In the video, Palmer misgendered Madison and used rhetoric that is clearly transphobic. The commentary circulated broadly across platforms, including X, Instagram, and YouTube, drawing significant attention within Black and LGBTQ plus online communities. Following the video, Palmer publicly alleged that Madison and individuals associated with her doxed him by sharing his personal information online. Madison has never publicly addressed Palmer or engaged him on social media. Madison has denied the allegations, stating that she did not dox Palmer and that any such claims are completely false. Now, we're going to pause right here. There is a video that came out earlier this month. I'm recording this on February 28th, but this came out earlier this month in which DL Whisperer had video footage and he posted it on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram. He was threatening Madison for months and months and months and months and months. Madison has not directly addressed him, you know. Now, I have seen things where, you know, she kind of had a little shade here and there, but she never like directly addressed him. But he has been taunting TS Madison and poking at her since June of last year. And it's something that he's just been picking and picking and picking and picking and picking. And for the most part, Madison, as of until recent, like the last like 2 to 3 months, Madison has been pretty much ignoring him and not giving him the time of day. But, you know, he had what, 240,000 followers on TikTok. Now his TikTok is deleted, by the way, ever since he got arrested. We're going to get to the article of him getting arrested soon, but I just want to give more background context. She was ignoring him, and he just kept taunting her, taunting her, taunting her, taunting her, poking, poking, poking. Next thing you know, this man is posting a video because his fans have, you know, urged him, you know, protect us, do all these things. And he's pulling up outside of this lady's house in Georgia, pulling up outside of her house, doing donuts, driving around the neighborhood. It's a hot mess.
TS Madison, bring that ass outside. Look where I'm at, ho. What's up?
So after that video came out, Madison issued out the temporary protective order. And now this order is a short-term legal measure intended to restrict contact while a court evaluates whether further protections are necessary. Legal experts at the time on February 5th noted that filing a TPO does not constitute a criminal finding or determination of guilt, but it allows, or allowed in this case, because this happened earlier this month, a judge to assess whether the circumstances warrant court order boundaries. All right. So that was the start off to this whole thing. You know, after he went to her house, she had that TPO filed immediately because baby girl wasn't playing. Now, Madison, she posted this on her X account after the TPO was filed and after the story broke exclusively to Gay Magazine. Here is the tweet here, and I will probably insert it so you can read it along with me here. So after the TPO was filed, Madison, you know, she did seek this protective order after the dispute moved beyond just the online back and forth, right? And the online discourse, because there never was a back and forth between the two. Let me make that clear. There was just this online discourse coming from him, right? Where he's repeatedly talking about her, calling her a man, saying things. I just saw an interview with the Shade Room that he did. Shade Room covered this 3 weeks ago, but they did a good interview and they actually interviewed D.O. Whisperer himself. In the interview, this man said that trans women and DL men are one and the same. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said that both of them are lying about their identities, which is why they work in cahoots together so well to harm Black women.
Into pushback from members of the LGBTQ plus community, specifically the trans community.
Basically, they feel like I'm making their quality of life harder by saying that they're men. I came to the conclusion that trans women and DL men are the same thing. So essentially, DL men are hypermasculine, trans women are hyperfeminine. They both hurt women. They both cosplay as different things except gay men. If you pay attention, DL men are gay men. Trans women are gay men. They don't want to identify as the gay man. So you see a gay man who's sitting before you confident in himself. And that pisses them off.
Naquan Palmer, you thought I wasn't going to find you? I know your address. I just sent you your address. You ain't answered back yet.
The online rhetoric turning into serious threats.
These girls are obsessed. You want it to box, but clearly now you want to take it to the streets. Then, we're going to meet it there.
I'm paraphrasing what he said. And he literally said that out of his mouth in the interview. Okay, so that's just more context to this situation. But back to T.S. Madison's tweet here. So shortly after she filed that temporary restraining order, she took to X on February 4th. And she said the most efficient way is to handle things legally. People think silence means fear. I'm rich. I don't handle things in the street. I'm 48 years old and a established brand. You are insane to think I'm going to, in quote, fight you in the streets. No, fight your case. Hashtag 500 yards. Don't you ever think you can come threaten me at my home and think you'll go home and go to bed. Nah. So, as the dispute unfolded online, according to Gay Magazine, it becomes part of a broader national conversation about safety for trans women, particularly those with public visibility. Advocacy organizations and civil rights groups have reported rising levels of harassment, threats, and violence targeting trans women, with Black trans women facing disproportionate risk. The filing comes amid heightened scrutiny following the recent death of Girl Lala, a widely followed TikTok creator whose death has drawn renewed attention to the dangers of trans women and the dangers that trans women face both online and offline. While details surrounding Girl Lala's death continue to circulate publicly, advocates say the response underscores how quickly online hostility and misinformation continue to cause real world harm. At the same time, trans rights have increasingly become a focal point in political discourse. I'm going to stop right there with the first article. Now, ever since February 5th, something else has happened, and that's what I opened up talking about in this video. So, as of February 21st, which was last Saturday, Naquan D.L. Whisper Palmer was arrested on felony aggravated stalking charge, okay? On a felony aggravated stalking charge and faces up to 10 years in prison. Okay, so that took place, and this was breaking news last Saturday. So, yes, I'm a little bit late to it. But for context, because I already made 2 TikToks about this and I already gave my opinion on TikTok, but for deeper context for my YouTube channel, I really wanted to highlight this. So according to Gay Magazine, before I get to my commentary, it was breaking news on February 21st at 10:22 in the morning that DL Whisperer, also known as Naquan Palmer, was arrested on one count of felony aggravated stalking, according to arrest records obtained by Gay Magazine. Authorities confirmed that a warrant had been issued prior to his arrest. The arrest was carried out by Gilmer County Sheriff's Office. Details surrounding the circumstances that led to the warrant have not yet been fully disclosed. As of publication on February 21st, it remains unclear whether Palmer has secured legal representation or when he is expected to appear before a judge. This breaking development comes on the heels of Gay Magazine's recent exclusive reporting of the temporary restraining order that broke out. So, under Georgia law, aggravated stalking is not a minor allegation. It is a felony offense, according to OCGA 16591, that's the code. A conviction carries a potential prison sentence of 1 to 10 years, along with a fine up to $10,000. Aggravated stalking charges typically arise when someone is accused of engaging in stalking behavior in violation of a court order, such as a temporary protective order. The predicate offense of stalking, defined under that code that I just read earlier, occurs when a person follows, places under surveillance, or contacts another person at or about a place or places without the consent of the other person for the purpose of harassing and intimidating the other person. Now, with all of this drama that has broken out, during the time period, which was late January, when he went to her house, this literally happened mid to late January. I do not know the exact date, but I've been following things, okay? He went to the lady's house. Then, during that time period as well, he did an interview with Tasha K. Then there was some audio that came out of him threatening TS Madison, saying that he wants her to be unalived.
I want to run this bitch over. Like, I want him dead. And I hate to say that out loud, but I don't think y'all understand. Like, I wish that T.S. Madison was dead. Like, I really do. Like, when I tell you I ain't never wished that on nobody, I want him dead.
So all of these things have happened in January, February, right? And now we are here where he has gotten arrested. Journalists had off, opinion on, commentary on. For him to make content like this, and I'm not saying anything that's new, but as a trans woman myself, here's the thing. You have an openly gay man who is grifting and pandering. And I'm saying grifting because he already made content. Now, according to sources such as, was a video that Daily Doses of D posted, because him and Daily Doses of D have been going back and forth. Now, Daily Doses of D, he is a content creator as well. He is a gay man. Amazing. By the way, he's beautiful. So I follow him. He's a very attractive man, but he's one of the girls. He's my sis. But no, he was saying how DL Loverboy, aka DL Whisperer, back in the day, used to have an OnlyFans. That's what he said on his social media. I don't know if that's true or not. That's alleged. But they said that he used to have an OnlyFans and it got deleted off of Twitter or whatever. And he was known as DL Loverboy, but he saw that the content that he was making, not just the sexual stuff, but the content that he was making on TikTok, wasn't really getting him anywhere, but he kept branding himself as this DL Loverboy thing. And by the way, he Daily Doses of D mentioned the OnlyFans, but upon my research, DL Loverboy, he was making all this content. It really wasn't working out. And it wasn't until he rebranded himself as DL Whisperer, he discovered that his followers loved this particular content. He started to attract black women who have this thing with DL men. As we all know in the black community, that is a constant hot topic. It is something that black women constantly talk about. Not all black women, but it's a fear. It's a fear at this. It is. It is a fear. Is it a valid conversation to have? Yes. I'm not saying that DL men should be protected or even coddled. But here is where, with the antics of DL Whisperer, this is where things are going a bit too far when he's threatening people, trying to fight people. And when I'm seeing TikToks as well of black women posting videos saying, and these are cis women, by the way. I know some of y'all don't want to be called cis women, but cis women are, and I'm black too, so I'm a black trans woman myself, child. But you have one black women who are posting these videos saying, "Oh my God, well, what's wrong? Oh my God, he's protecting us. He's not hurting anybody." Y'all are so transphobic. Like, this is insane. If you are if you are such a fool to not see that you are being pandered to not see that this is harming a lot of different people. He's over here making videos of random men saying that they're DL. He doesn't even know these men's sexuality.
The DL Whisperer wanted to be picked by DL men. And when he realized that that fantasy would not be fulfilled because these men are at the end of the day DL, he came on here and he formed a cult. And in this cult, he spewed his hurt that he was getting from those men onto you women. And let me make this crystal clear. I do not agree with DL men whatsoever. I feel like I have the choice of whether or not I want to deal with a Hannah Montana or not. But my point is, how can y'all be so easily influenced by something that has not been authenticated?
It's not that for the people who are against this content, this is across all gender lines, right? It's for the blacks, right? It's for black cis women who are against this content, black gay men, and black trans women, right? It's not cool to go on this thing of exposing people. Like, that's just not okay, because that could lead to affecting people's lives, especially if a person really is not down low. Not everybody is down low. You have some straight men who are probably more on the feminine side, or who probably even post harmful content, and they don't really care for black women, or they see all these things, but they're not even gay. Right? I think that there's this fascination with expose culture, right? And let's just be honest about it. This is his thing that got him clicks and views. And he was trying to serve his audience, and it went too far. His audience was telling him, "Oh yeah, we don't like those trans either." And he's getting up on live, talking 2 to 3 hours on live every single day, bashing people because that's what his audience wants to see. But when it comes to offline, you're accusing people of being gay who are probably not gay. You don't know who they sleep with. You don't have receipts. That's the dangerous thing of doing this. So you're going about it the wrong way. And you're going about it this way because you want the clicks and views. And it's absolutely insane because it's gay men and trans women who are put into vulnerable situations, and also DL people. And I'm not defending them by any way as I say this. I don't like DL men. Like, I'm not an advocate of DL men. I'm not advocating for them and for them to be protected or coddled. But when you are on this kick of exposing people, it is putting everybody in harm's way. It literally is. The only way that you will know if a man is down low is if you create the space for him to come out to you and tell you. So if you're a black woman who's running around paranoid because you really, really want a black man so bad, and I want a black man too, child. Right. But what I'm saying is that if you're a woman who is having that paranoia, he's never going to feel safe to tell you that. Right? So it's not us trying to protect DL men. It's us trying to protect everybody's safety, our safety. And what also bothers me about it is that Black gay men and black trans women, we really do be like protective of black cisgender women. We really do. We be so protective, and this type of content is just causing a further divide. It really is. And I know everybody else is saying it, but it really, it frankly, like, it irritates me so much when this type of stuff gets big like this, because it's not really helping us. It's really, really not. And as a community, we're only going to heal as a black community as a whole if we all stop this like this BS. Like, this is absolute BS. Get tested, create safe spaces for people to come out to you if you are so paranoid about them being down low or gay or bisexual. Yes, a lot of men are bisexual. Yes, some black men they've been repressing their sexuality. They may have some feelings. Have the conversation with them. And black men who are DL, have the conversation too, because ain't nobody trying to protect you. I'm not trying to protect them either. All I'm saying is that this type of content is absolutely insane, to where this man is pulling up at people's house, a celebrity's house at that, not just a regular trans girl, okay? Pulling up at a prominent person's house, that's some bold stuff. He is that drunk on this attention that he is pulling up at someone's house, threatening people, all for clicks and views. And the people who are transphobic love it. Let's just call it what it is. For the people who support him, y'all are transphobic, y'all are homophobic. That is what that is. No one is telling you to be okay with a down low man. What people are trying to say to you is, it's okay to have the conversation. But falling for a person who is pandering to you is not protecting you. It's not. This man, girl, I haven't watched all his videos. Like, let me just be honest. I have not watched all this man's videos. But the stuff I see is complete bullshit. I remember I saw one video, sorry to cuss. I saw one video where he made a video talking about, oh, if a guy smiles like this, he's down low. If a guy eats this or eats that, he's down low. It's like, come on. You can't really let a person tell you what they into. And it just frustrates me, because us as a black community, like, this is the type of stuff where unfortunately, the salacious stuff gets clicks and views, but I think we're all missing the bigger picture. The reason why this issue is so big, this issue of down low and all this in our community, is because our community as a whole, we're not creating the spaces for the conversation to be had. Do I think down low men should not mess with black women? Do not mess with black women. Yes, do not mess with them. Leave them alone. Don't come into their lives and lie. Do I think that black women should have this paranoia? I would say be cautious. Be cautious, but ask. Have a conversation. And before you ask, because you can't ask everybody the sexuality, because people get offended. But have a moment, create an environment of safety for a person to tell you. Stop running around being so fearful. In life, things are gonna happen. In life, when situations come up for any of us that we don't want to deal with, we don't always see it coming, but this is why we have to have these conversations. I understand that women have agency over their bodies and they have the right to know, but y'all are going about it the wrong damn way. Y'all are going about it the wrong way. Create a space or spaces where y'all can have private conversations. And stop falling for this messy content, because I know we all like a little bit of mess. But I really think that a lot of y'all, his supporters, a lot of you all are drunk. Y'all are drunk on the clicks and views. Yes, down low is a hot topic. Finding out people's sexualities and their genders is juicy and it's a hot topic. But when it comes to putting a certain community in jeopardy, like, black trans women, we ain't trying to hurt nobody. We already getting killed at high numbers. Every year at T-Door, there's always these high numbers of black women literally being unalived. That is so normal in our experience, unfortunately. We see it all the time. It happens to a lot of us all the time. So what makes you think that with the rates of us and how we are being unalived, what makes you think that we would want to cause harm to you? That's what really upsets me about his content, because when it comes to us offline, I'm friends with black cis women. You get me? And we be having these conversations, and I feel like I have to damn near be a martyr for my entire community. You get what I'm saying? Not a martyr, but I have to be a representative for my entire community and be like, that's not true. Like, this is not how a lot of us feel, because our look, the attention span of us on social media, we have been on it too damn much. And I think that as a whole, as a community, we need a break, and we need to be in reality and get real about the fact that as a black community, we have to just have these conversations. We have to take responsibility for our own bodies and get tested, get on prep, get on doxy pep, and you take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you lay down with anybody, you can't trust nobody. A man, a woman, people lie about what they do. People are not fully transparent all the time about what they do in the bedroom. So if you're that goddamn paranoid, you make sure that you're getting tested. Because that's the thing. Make sure that you are wrapping it up. When people say wrap it up, wrap it up. And if you're going to go raw, make sure you're on prep. And that applies to black women too. Figure out how to get on prep. They got so many programs. And I know if you're living in the South, you probably don't have access, because the South has their own issues with PrEP and HIV care and HIV prevention. I'm sensitive to that, and I'm aware of that, right? But take agency. You get what I'm saying? And another side of this argument is, even if you have the conversation with a man, will he be honest with you? We don't always know, but listen to your intuition. Wrap it up. You can't trust people, you know? And, I'm sensitive to it, but I just feel like for this man to create content pandering and capitalizing on that fear, he started a GoFundMe page and raised like $10,000, a hot mess, child, for legal fees and all these things. This man is pandering to y'all. So if you want to keep falling for it, you fall for it. I know that this message is going to fall on deaf ears, because some people are just so attached to the homophobia and the transphobia, and they feel a way, and they want to take it out on the gays and take it out on the trans girls and take it out on the successful trans woman like a TS Madison, who is a mother to this community. And I said that on my TikTok. That woman and Dominique Morgan, all these, and there's other trans people that he's been coming at as well. I don't know all the other ones, okay, but I know that there's about 5 or 4. The two that are the face of this are T.S. Madison and Dominique Morgan, and it sparks a broader conversation of causing harm to a certain demographic and protection of one demographic, but this is not even real protection. So thank you to the black women who have been making videos and who have said that they see through the BS, and the black gay men who've been making videos and saying that they see through the BS, and the black trans women who've been making videos and saying that we see through this BS, because it's complete BS. Anyways, that's all I gotta say on this. Drop down below, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm sorry that this video is so long, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.